Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. WWE Money in the Bank is beginning to take shape. Got a lot of questions here regarding WWE and TNA. Actually got a good TNA question today, so we'll get to that in just a few minutes. With that being said, let's get right down to your questions, which by the way you can submit at formspring.me/AaronRift. Alright, first one today comes from JMSticks97. Hey Aaron, I wanted to hear your thoughts on the Money in the Bank ladder match participants. I think that this ladder match should be great, and I feel like this ladder match is getting back some of the importance it once had. This is definitely one of the most star-studded lineups WWE has ever produced for a Money in the Bank match. You have several former Money in the Bank winners, guys like CM Punk, guys like Kane, guys like Daniel Bryan. I mean, it is an awesome lineup. You have other top superstars like Randy Orton, and then you have Sheamus in there. And then, of course, Rob Van Dam, RVD, making his big return, and his performances in Money in the Bank are legendary. So it is going to be a great match. I mean, it's almost guaranteed to be excellent. And I have really high expectations for it. I hope it doesn't end up being a disappointment, but with all those guys in there, it has all the makings to be one of the greatest ladder matches in WWE history. It really does have a lot of potential to be a top-tier match. So not going to get my hopes up too much. You know, it could end up being a disappointment. You never know. But I really think that this one is worth the pay-per-view price just by itself. And I've also got a question here regarding the match. Would you say Daniel Bryan is the favorite to win the Money in the Bank match? This is from ClarkyBoy123. Well, with the way things are going in the storyline with Daniel Bryan, WWE's building him up. He got a huge win over Randy Orton on Raw. And, you know, this whole weak link storyline and all the talk that Daniel Bryan is going to face John Cena at SummerSlam. I would say Daniel Bryan is a favorite, and maybe WWE will go with the idea that I presented several weeks back where Daniel Bryan wins Money in the Bank, and then the next night on Raw, he announces that he is not going to cash it in as a surprise, but rather he's going to challenge John Cena for the WWE title at SummerSlam. So it's quite possible that that's the direction WWE is going, and honestly, I think that that's the way that they should go. I think that Daniel Bryan should win the Money in the Bank and have him cash it in the right way, the honest way against John Cena, and don't know if it's going to happen or not, but I would have him beat John Cena. I would go all the way with Daniel Bryan at this point, as I've mentioned in previous videos. But it could be anybody's game. I mean, CM Punk could end up winning it. I don't think RVD will be winning it. I mean, if Daniel Bryan doesn't win, I think CM Punk is your next best bet in that match. But we'll just have to wait and see. When was the last time we saw two superstars shake hands after a match? I really enjoyed Raw's main event between Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan. How about you? Honestly, I don't know the last time that two wrestlers shook hands after a match. It's very rare, and I'm not one of those guys that pays attention to it all that much. But yeah, it was a really good Raw match. I mean, the two of them were just beating the crap out of each other. Daniel Bryan using the kendo stick and then kicking him repeatedly. Very physical match, and Randy Orton throwing Daniel Bryan through the table. I mean, there were a lot of brutal moments in that match. So it was very intense and felt like a pay-per-view match. So, I mean, it was really good stuff between those two. And Daniel Bryan's role continues. He's been having one great match on television after another. And, you know, he's becoming the most over person on the WWE roster. He's like, I mean, I felt that he was more over than CM Punk on this show. I mean, it seemed to me like... you know, Bryan was the most over person on the entire show, including John Cena and CM Punk. And, you know, I really feel he has a lot of momentum, and hopefully WWE doesn't drop the ball with him, because they got a potential future main eventer in Daniel Bryan, somebody that they can rely on for years to come. And, you know, the fans are totally behind him. All right, next question here from Kenny Freebird. I've heard that you and your wife don't watch wrestling together. This must be difficult as you need to watch a lot of wrestling for your career. I was just wondering if you've had any advice on how to meet each other's needs in a relationship. Thanks. Well, I'm not Dr. Phil, so I'm not sure what kind of advice I can give you. I mean, it's really all about compromise, and I don't really care if my wife watches wrestling or not. I just care that she respects it and respects what I do, and she does. I do drag her to the live events like SummerSlam and Royal Rumble, but she enjoys going to those events just to be able to meet up with people. She likes when we do the after party get-togethers, like at Tilted Kilt or whatever, and just meeting up with people. So she likes that aspect of it, the socializing and all that. But yeah, she's kind of dragged into it. But I go to things and events that she likes, and I don't really care about that often or that much. So it just comes down to compromise and just it's all about spending time with each other. It doesn't really matter what you're doing as long as you're together with that person. All right, this one comes from Talk Wrestling TW. What is with your hate towards TNA? I know people are entitled to their opinions, but I'm curious to understand what you don't like about them. Please answer in video. Thanks. Okay, I have brought this up before. I've talked about the whole thing with TNA, and a lot of people have accused me of being biased. That I'm some sort of WWE fanboy and I have a vendetta against TNA. And that could not be further from the truth. Let me go back to the beginning of TNA. Myself and everybody associated with NoDQ.com, we were very upset when the Monday Night Wars ended and there was no competition. It took a hit for my website, in terms of traffic. The more popular wrestling is, the better my website it does in terms of traffic. And, it's my business. So, it is in my best interest for the wrestling business to be doing well, and it is in my best interest for TNA to be doing well. And when TNA started doing the weekly pay-per-views, I was really trying to help them out a lot, and so were the people associated with my website. We did tons of interviews with TNA talent. We were constantly promoting the weekly pay-per-views on NoDQ.com, and we even went as far as to fly to Orlando for the Turning Point pay-per-view at the end of 2004 because we wanted to get interviews and we wanted to try to help spread the word about TNA. And during that period, they really needed the help, and we were more than willing to try to help spread the word and get people watching TNA. And we were very much into the product at the time. I mean, they were putting on some really great pay-per-views during that 2004-2005 period. But the fact is, they have not made any progress, in 8 years since going on Spike TV. The ratings have stayed basically at a 1.0, 1.1. A couple years they were getting into the 1.2 range, but they've just been running on a treadmill. Their business is not improving, and their house shows draw terribly. They draw 500 people to 1,000 people. I mean, there are indie wrestling shows that draw more people. And this is with guys like Jeff Hardy and Rob Van Dam on your card, and you still only draw that many people. Very few people buy the pay-per-view events. TNA is staying in business because they have the deal with Spike TV. That's what's keeping them afloat, and the money from the Carter family. But the bottom line is TNA is just not a good product. It's not a product that attracts your casual viewers. The only people that are watching TNA are the most die-hard of wrestling fans that will watch the TNA product no matter what. They are wrestling fans for life, and they will watch whatever wrestling you throw on television at them. I mean, that is the harsh reality here, and I am not trying to be anti-TNA. If I'm saying that something is wrong with the TNA product, I'm saying it because I really believe it is bad for their business. So that's the bottom line here. I am not against TNA. I would love nothing more than for them to succeed. I would love to see guys like AJ Styles be mainstream superstars and make the money that they deserve, because those guys have put in so much hard work over the years, and they deserve to be recognized for it. So I really would like to see improvement in TNA, and I want to be a fan. So it's not me having a vendetta against them or wishing they were out of business, because that would hurt my business. If TNA went under, it would be bad for the wrestling business, and it would be bad for NoDQ.com as a business. All right, a couple more questions here from Juggernaut23. Hey Aaron, do you feel that Money in the Bank is a good replacement for King of the Ring? Please answer in video. Well, it's funny you mention that because Money in the Bank is sort of becoming like a Big Four type pay-per-view in terms of the quality. I mean, every year that they've done the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, it's been one of the best pay-per-views of the year. So it's certainly becoming a major show, and in some cases it's been better than SummerSlam and Survivor Series, and those are supposed to be your Big Four. Um, I would still like to see the King of the Ring come back. I mean, I wouldn't consider it a replacement. I mean, the King of the Ring's been gone for over 10 years now. But I would like to see King of the Ring back, as I mentioned in previous videos. But yeah, I think Money in the Bank could end up replacing Survivor Series and SummerSlam on the totem pole. I mean, maybe Vince was right. Maybe Survivor Series is becoming irrelevant. I mean, I don't know about that. All right, final one today comes from I Am Coco 22. Hey Aaron, why was Razor Ramon featured on the WrestleMania 12 official poster? Was he still under contract or was he gone by that time? Also, what was his final televised match? Please answer on video. Well, Razor Ramon was still supposed to be part of WrestleMania when they came up with the official poster. What happened was Razor Ramon got suspended, I think, right after the In Your House pay-per-view in February. And at that point, he was planning on jumping to WCW, so they the word was that he failed some sort of drug test, and they just decided to suspend him and go with a different plan for WrestleMania. Originally, it was supposed to be Razor Ramon versus Goldust in the backlot brawl, but then they replaced Razor with Roddy Piper, and Razor was still part of the company though, so they decided to bring him back and have him job on the way out, put over somebody, and they did the match with him and Vader at the In Your House in April, and that was actually Razor's last televised match. And then his last actual match was the night of the infamous curtain call. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Subscribe, youtube.com/NoDQCAW. Tell a friend on Facebook or Twitter about No DQ&A video. And stay tuned to NoDQ.com for the very latest in WWE and TNA.